I've been teaching meditation under the guidance of my own spiritual teacher, Sri Chinmoy, and run a meditation center. And it's been since 1972, actually, since I joined the meditation center, and maybe since the 80s teaching meditation classes. However, this is my first online experience. This is just the introduction here and a little bit of what we're going to do, table of contents for the first week. I'd like everyone to just introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about why you want to learn to meditate. And I'll tell you about what we're going to be doing. We're going to be offering some very specific techniques that you're going to practice with us. And we'll talk about what meditation exactly is. And here's a little quote that I like. Why do we meditate? I meditate so that I can inundate my entire being with the omnipotent power of peace. So I started meditating because I was searching for meaning to life. I didn't want just to have lack of stress. I wanted to know why I was on earth. And I started meditating at actually 19 years old. And something deep within me was saying, there's more to life, and what is it? Thankfully, I had an aunt who had gone to India, and she ended up in an Indian spiritual community called an ashram. And there, she was teaching English, actually, and she came in touch with Sri Chinmoy, who was a spiritual seeker who was meditating many, many hours. Anyway, eventually she helped him to come to the West. He had an inner feeling to go to America and to help teach meditation. And since she was Canadian, and she was able to help him in the early years. So that's how I learned about Sri Chinmoy. And later I became his student when I was 19. And then after that, he asked me and my husband to come to Montreal to start a meditation center here. So that's a little bit of our history. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to start all these different, I'm going to go through concentration technique and some relaxation visualization. We're going to do some breathing, and then I'll talk about how to get you going and to keep up. You're all talking about regularity, which is the absolutely most important thing. Basically, the first thing when you think about meditation is, quieting your mind. Is everybody able to do that? If I say right now, make your mind quiet, can you do that? The biggest challenge for everybody. But really, in order to meditate, you really do need to quiet your mind, or at least begin to control your mind. This is something that's very important. And in the beginning, one of the ways that you can do that is by starting to recognize the kind of thinking that you have. And if you have very positive thoughts, in the beginning, you're definitely not going to make your mind completely quiet. So what you need to do is separate the positive, useful, harmonious, peaceful thoughts from thoughts that are negative or just useless. So for example, if you're sitting and you want to say, okay, now I'm going to meditate. This is great. I feel great. I feel so peaceful. But this chair is a little bit uncomfortable. Oh, my back is hurting a little bit. Oh, yesterday my back hurt a little bit, and I told my friend. That friend wasn't very nice to me yesterday. I don't know if I really want to keep that friend. And then, suddenly from I feel peaceful, you're, criticizing your friend out there. So this is how the mind works. So what you have to do is just really notice that you are having useless thoughts and just rein them in. So that's just a very beginning thing, an awareness of your thinking process. And eventually you'll be able to focus on positive, useful, productive thoughts, which actually will get in touch with what's happening within you, which I will explain. Many of you mentioned this, but meditation is going deep inside yourself and trying to find your inner self, or I like to call it your spiritual heart. So if I ask you out there in Cyberland, if you want to say me, and you want to just go me, where do you go? You do me, or me. Spontaneously, just do it. Just say me, and then where do you put your hand? Spontaneously. Most people will go right to the center of their chest. This is why. You, the real deep you, the real you is here, sort of inside the center of your chest, which is where your inner self is. And a little secret is that when you meditate, if you focus on this area more than on your mind area, you're going to have a much easier time meditating. And of course, meditation is self-discovery. The more you meditate, the more you're going to learn about yourself, your inner self, what all the beautiful things that you have actually going on within you. So how do we do that? At least we're going to practice different techniques, and in every class I'm going to do them in that order. So you always need to relax to prepare your body to be still, and then we'll do a concentration which focuses your mind, and then we'll do some kind of visualization to help you imagine something which goes beyond your mind, and then from that, we go into the meditation, which is actually expansion, where you don't have any technique, but your own inner self will help you meditate without analyzing. And that's the most important thing, and we'll talk about that. And what do you get from meditation? Well, if you're a student or anybody, better concentration for sure, and focus. This is very helpful mostly for students. You'll be less distracted by noise. My meditation teacher, Sri Chinmoy, always said, if you're a good meditator, you could meditate in Times Square on New Year's Eve and you wouldn't be distracted. What happens is you'll find you're more creative. This has happened to so many people. And your stress level should go down, which is what you need, especially when you're doing exams, right? Increases your confidence, your potential. And the main and most important thing is you'll have a lot more inner peace, because it's like recharging your battery every day. When you meditate, you're filling yourself up with peace. And we'll talk about the best time to meditate, but this peace doesn't go away. It's there inside you. And when you meditate and you need to call on that peace, it's there. So this is something why you spoke about regularity, everybody. This is why you need to meditate regularly. So symbols to aid meditation. These are a couple of very typical things that we use that can help us to meditate. Candles, flowers, picture something beautiful. A picture of a Buddha, something that's inspiring. You need something sometime to help you. So what do candles normally represent? If you think to yourself, because we're going to do a technique with the candle, what does the candle represent? If you start meditating to have candle, flowers, pictures, and those things with you, you'll find that it's very helpful and it makes your meditation easier. So we're going to actually do a candle meditation in a minute, but first, let's just do a little quick relaxation. So with everybody, this is just when you get started, it's very important to relax your whole body. And you can do this by just breathing in to a different part of your body. And then we'll start with the head and then just go down to make your body a little bit more relaxed. One of the most important things is to be straight, to have your back straight. So if you meditate like this, it's not going to work too well. You do need to be aware. Meditation is awareness. So just take a minute you can look at this or just close your eyes, and we'll just breathe into a different part of your body. And then when you breathe in, you just feel the tension leaving. It's a pretty typical yoga exercise. So we'll just, because the mind is the most active, we'll start with the top of the head. So just sit straight, take a deep breath, breathe in, and imagine that the whole top part of your head is relaxing. And when you breathe out, all the stress from your mind, just breathe in, relax your face, breathe out. And the next part holds a lot of tension, your neck. So try to feel if you have any tension in your neck, breathe in. And when you breathe out, try to feel the tension releasing. And breathe in your left shoulder. Breathe out, relax, and your left arm. Your right shoulder, your right arm. And your upper body, your chest, your torso, you breathe in, feel relaxation. Breathe out. Stress is going away. Your lower torso area. Your left leg. Your foot, your left foot and your toes. And your right leg. Breathe out. Your left foot, your toes, you can move them around if you need to. And take a very big deep breath and feel, you breathe out, your whole body is just relaxing. So while you're feeling relaxed, some people said that they've never meditated before, but I'm going to tell you a little technique you can try to show you that you have done some kind of meditation. Imagine a very peaceful place from nature, somewhere that you have been before, someplace that you really loved, somewhere in nature. And just imagine that you are in that place right now. Try to see yourself there. You can keep your eyes closed. It could be a beach, it could be a mountain, it could be in the forest, it could be seaside, campfire. A few minutes and imagine the place. Imagine yourself sitting there in that place and just feel how you felt when you were in that peaceful place. If you have any thoughts, just don't follow them. Go back to just visualizing the place. So each person has their own particular place that you went to. When you were in these places, were you analyzing the situation? Were you saying, oh, the water is so blue. Oh, the green on that tree is, the color of this? Or you weren't analyzing, right? What was happening? Feeling, experiencing. And you were experiencing a peace. And this is what meditation is like. There's no mental analysis. I know that mindfulness is a very common and important thing that many people follow, but I like to talk about heartfulness, because sometimes if you get too much in the mind, it interferes. So this is the opposite of mindfulness. This is heartfulness right now, because there's no analysis. It's all like a deep, deep inner feeling of our spiritual self, our deeper self. So if you ever start getting distracted, try to go back and visualize this beautiful place. It will be something that will help you. So that's one technique that you can try. The next one is, I mentioned the concentration on a candle. If you don't have a real candle, here's a candle that you can use, and a technique that you can try at home. I spoke to you about the flame. So try to think, what does a flame mean to you? Each person, you mentioned something to me, could be inner warmth, it could be aspiration, it could be light, it could be a spark. So many nice things that you said. The technique is that you take a part of the candle flame. When you meditate, you visualize, you focus on the flame, and just try not to feel that there's anything else around but that flame. So that's the first part. We will try it in a minute. And then you feel the meaning of the flame to you. So you could say the word warmth, peace, light, whatever that flame means to you, to help your mind from wandering. And then after you finish that, you close your eyes, and then you see the flame inside the center of your chest. So we'll try this. We'll use our imaginary flame here for a minute. So, or if you happen to have a candle in front of you, your own candle, it's the best. So just try focusing for a minute on the flame, and just probably the best is to pick like the tip of the flame or some part that inspires you. And just feel the quality it means to you, and just focus without letting your mind wander for a minute. Let's try it. It's good if you keep your eyes half open and half closed, so you're aware of your inner self, but you're still focusing. And say to yourself the quality that it means for you. Close your eyes and imagine that flame, the symbolism of the flame inside your spiritual heart, the center of your chest, and feel the light of the flame and the warmth and the lightness of it. Feel that the flame, or what it means, is opening up inside your inner heart, inside your inner self, and expanding so that your inner self is all full of light, very bright, it's very warm, and it's filling you, your entire being, with this light. You can also feel like you're physically light, that you're becoming lighter and lighter. You can feel that the flame is becoming smaller again inside your chest, your spiritual heart. That quality of warmth or light that you felt will stay there. It will not go away. It's something that you can call on at any time. And after, it's always good to just let go and just allow the experience to take over. This is a very excellent concentration that you can do just to get you started, focusing on something small. Another really great technique, and this is super excellent if you are a student and a teacher. I've used this myself many, many times before teaching a class. Breathing. Everybody knows breathing. The first technique is, while we're still feeling very peaceful, is to imagine that when you breathe in, you're breathing in peace. Whatever peace is to you, you can visualize the peaceful place. You can visualize the candle if it's peace for you, whatever you feel is peace, or you can just say the word peace. So you breathe, very conscious breathing. You breathe in peace. Best is through the nose, by the way, not the mouth. Feel the peace is expanding within you. And then when you breathe out the opposite of peace: restlessness, tension, anxiety, stress. So we're going to try that together for a few minutes. So each person in their own way. Breathe in peace. Hold it for a few minutes or seconds, and then breathe out all your anxiety and stress, and feel that it's completely disappearing into the universe. I like to call it the universal garbage can. Just throw it away. And then breathe in peace again. Breathe out your tension and your stress. You can do it in your own time now. Remember not to breathe the tension back in. Really feel like you're just thrown it far, far, far away into the universe. And then you're feeling peaceful. The next step, and this is very, very important, especially during these difficult times. Some people feel a little bit sad, a little bit depressed, being inside all the time. One of the remedies is to breathe in joy or breathe in happiness. Whatever makes you happy. You can visualize a laughing child. You can visualize something that makes you laugh, something that makes you happy, or you can just say the word joy, happiness. And when you breathe in, really feel that this happiness is entering into you and spreading through your whole being, making you feel happy. And when you breathe out, consciously breathe out sadness, depression, anything that's bothering you. Last technique you can do. You're feeling peaceful, you're feeling happy, and now we're going to get energy. So the same thing that's really, really works, especially before you have to do a difficult task. You breathe in cosmic energy. Just feel something that will give you, there's lots of energy in the universe. Just breathe it in. If you're feeling tired, just breathe out and let the fatigue, let the tiredness just disappear. Feel you're throwing it into the universal garbage can. Now you should be full of peace, joy, and energy. And really, really feel that you're giving it away. I will try. I'm just going to go through all the techniques, and then if you have any questions or comments. So this is something that's very, very useful, especially if you're in exams right now. As a student, I have to tell you that I use that breathe in peace before every exam I ever wrote. And I actually use it before I teach a new class when I'm a little bit stressed. Before I teach a new group of students, I breathe in peace before the class and breathe out the stress. And I find that it really, really helps me a lot. So it's a very useful technique. Another technique that is very, very helpful is a sound, concentration on a sound. It's using a mantra. I think most of you probably know what a mantra is. These are ancient seed sounds that actually have a lot of power, especially if you chant them out loud. They should be spoken. And the most common one I think you probably have heard is Om. So it was said, and I've read, and from many spiritual traditions, that the universe was created with this sound, and in different traditions, you have the sound Om and other sounds which are similar, Amen, and many, you can read about it, it's quite interesting. And the other one is a very, very lovely mantra is Shanti, which you've probably heard of it. It means peace in the Sanskrit. Somebody is studying Sanskrit there. So Shanti and Om are Sanskrit mantras. From time immemorial, meditators have been using these sounds, these mantras to help them calm the spirit and to invoke universal energy. So we'll try it. The best way to say Om is when the M is 3 times as long as the O, and it's pronounced like O. So I'll actually play my teacher saying Om because he says it extremely powerfully, and we'll practice it together. The best is to chant it 3 times. So I'll just play it and you can chant along yourself. You don't have to put your speaker on. You can if you want. So I'll just begins with just a little bit of flute meditation. So keep your back straight in your meditation position, and we'll just chant Om virtually together. So this is a way you can start your meditation, end your meditation. Another really nice way to end your meditation is to chant Shanti. And the way it sounds is like Shanti. Shanti. And when you chant Shanti, you can feel like you're invoking peace. You can do this also in your own tone, higher or lower. And these are very useful meditation techniques. It's a very good way to end your meditation also. A really good way to start your regularity is what we call the ABCs. And I know Carlene, I think, has mentioned that she put something also on her website about creating a sacred space. And I find that it is so helpful to have your own space. You can pick a corner of your house or your room where you will not be disturbed. It's great if a little corner, you see a picture of this cute little girl. I guess her parents made this lovely little area. Everybody's not so lucky to have like an extra room, but I like to call it your peace place. So a little corner of your room is good. It's the place where you're going to go to. Cover a small table with a nice cloth and put on it some things that will inspire you. Candle, flowers, a picture, something that you like. A Buddha picture if you follow a spiritual teaching, Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism, anything. Maybe you have a picture of someone meditating or something that's inspiring you. Everybody's different, and you'll find your own thing that you love. But having a candle is really helpful. I always say you can just go to the dollar store and get a candle. The best way to get started is to find your place. And for time, the best time to meditate is early in the morning when there's not a lot of noise. So less disturbance. But I always say that meditate when you get up. It's helpful. if you can't get up super early because of your schedule, but earlier the better. And if you make your meditation the first action of the day, it's like recharging your battery for the day. It really, in all the 47 years that I've been meditating, I have never missed one day of meditation. I can say that proudly. Start by washing your face, feel fresh, don't just get up and meditate, like wash your eyes, brush your teeth, feel a little bit fresh. And people usually say how long. So I would say 10, 15 minutes to just get you started, because it takes at least that time to get your body even relaxed and ready to go. Usually about 30 minutes. The reason I wanted to do this class between 5 and 6 is so probably you haven't eaten too much. Now you can go have your supper. But if you don't eat a lot before you meditate, your meditation will be much better than if you've just eaten, because you'll be digesting. And if you meditate again 10 minutes before you go to sleep, you will definitely sleep better. This has been proven even by science, I believe. So simplicity is an advanced course. Keep it simple, but if you can be regular, that is the most important thing. And every day. So because I'm a teacher, I always give homework. Find a peaceful place. Try to meditate 10 or 15 minutes every day. Start by concentrating on a candle, a sound like Om. Visualize a peaceful place as we did. If your mind wanders, bring it back. Again, using the breathing techniques, and use the techniques that you like best. And next week, you can tell me your progress if you come back, and we'll do lots of new techniques. So every week I'm going to be giving you lots and lots of different techniques, and it'll be a bank.